Marcus, first of all, there's so much history surrounding England versus Scotland, so much interest in it. Does it mean as much to the players as it does to everyone else?
Yeah, I think definitely, as players you want to play in the biggest, most historical games, and I think for our careers this is going to be up there with one of the best games that we play, one of the games that we remember for the rest of our careers. So, for me, I look back to the last time I played against them, and the atmosphere, the build up to the game. It was a unique game, and now to do it in the Euros is definitely a moment that we're all looking forward to.
And what kind of game do you think it will be? Do you think it will be more physical than a normal international fixture for this England side? Will it be a typical kind of game between two British sides?
I think it's going to be a tough game for sure. It's going to be a game where we're going to have to be good at things that are outside of our comfort zone, as you could call it. But Scotland are effective in different ways, so we have to be able to match them, compete with them, and then get the ball down and play our football as well. So it's going to be a game that we're going to have to be concentrated on. And the lads have trained well leading into it, so I'm definitely looking forward to it.
And whenever people think about England versus Scotland and the Euros, everybody thinks about Euro 96 and Paul Gascoigne's goal. Do you think there is anyone in this England squad, including yourself, who could have a similar impact to the kind of impact that Paul Gascoigne had, or was he just a unique one-off talent?
I think for us it's just about winning the game. We've got lots of people that are going to be in the starting 11 and that are going to be on the bench that can come on and change the result of a game in no time. So I think for us we're looking at it in terms of winning the game and getting the job done. If we do manage to win the game, we're likely to go through to the next round, which has been the aim since we joined up.
You didn't start the game against Croatia. Obviously, Gareth has so many options, especially in those wide positions up front. Do you sometimes feel sorry for him because he just has so many players to choose from? And what kind of substitute are you? Were you very disappointed to miss out on Sunday?
Yeah, it's obvious every single player wants to play. But from the tournaments that I've been to in the past, from doing really well in Russia, it's clear that you need everyone to go long distance in a tournament, and whether you're on the bench or you're starting, you have to be ready to come on and do your best basically, and that's the mentality of the group. And it's important that we keep that mentality going forward if we want to be successful and win things.
And the Scotland players have made it clear that they will be joining you in taking the knee before the game. How important do you think that is as a symbol of solidarity and unity?
Yeah, I think it's an important message. And we spoke about it in camp, and we recognise that it's a very important message, and if you want to spread important messages, there's no better place to do it than on the biggest stage. And that's why we continue to take the knee. So them taking the knee as well is going to be definitely a good thing. And like I said, there's more of us spreading the correct message. So hopefully it has a big influence on people around the world.
Thanks, Carvey. Now we'll go online briefly with a question from Jack Pitbrook from The Athletic.
Hi, Marcus. Lots of talk this week, as always, about Raheem Sterling, who obviously plays in a similar position to you. How do you assess his performance against Croatia, and what's he like as a teammate and a bloke around the camp?
Yeah, Raheem's he's a good guy. He's always been a good guy. Ever since I've come into the national team and sort of joined him in the team, he's always been good for me, and someone who you're always pushing each other to do better whilst we're here, and he's a good guy to be around. I'm buzzing for him that he got the goal, and ultimately it was the goal that won us the game. So yeah, hopefully he can come up with that more times throughout this tournament.
Thanks, Jack. We'll go back in the room with Ollie Foster from BBC.
Hi there, Marcus. You talked about England-Scotland games. You were involved 4 years ago in that World Cup qualifier. That crazy game, those Lee Griffith free kicks. Then Harry Kane pops up with an equaliser even later. You talked about, yes, they are different. What is it? Is there an extra bite to the tackle? Is there an extra intensity? Do you sense that coming off the Scottish players wanting so much to beat England?
I think in football, everyone wants to beat everyone, but there's some games where, there's how the game's actually being played, and then there's the atmosphere and the crowd, and how much you actually want to win. It all comes together, and there was just something unique about that game. And yeah, it's similar to the games that I've played for club, against like City and Liverpool. Them type of games, you have a different feeling. You can't really put a finger on it about what's different, because as a player you approach every game the same, but just to build up the fans, the energy, it's a unique game, and I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Just getting goosebumps now, the way you kind of describe it. We heard from Tyrone Mings yesterday talking about the pride, the excitement of getting the nod to start, in the first Euros match, and obviously, going on to keep a clean sheet and everything like that. On the flip side, how did you take it when you found out that you weren't starting?
I think you have to be professional about it. You can't say that you're not upset or annoyed, because I think as a player that's natural. You want to play every game, but it's about your reaction to that, and if you start putting your head down and sulking and not training properly, it doesn't have a good effect on the team. And like I said before, that to go on and win a big competition, you need the whole team, and that includes training every day. We all want to be pushing each other, and yeah, it's the manager's decision, and you have to respect that. And for me, I just keep working and keep working hard in training and in the games when I do come on, or if I start. So yeah, you move on from it. I'm happy that the team got the 3 points, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, you came on for the last 20 minutes, obviously, to see out the result. But carrying that into the last couple of days' training, do you think, right, okay, I didn't start against Croatia, I need to up my game here, with the lads to show that I deserve to get in there? And, we've talked about the ridiculous competition.
I've been doing that since I've come here, and like I said before, there's only 11 players that can start the game. So when you've got a squad full of 20, 25, 26 talented players, and at the end of the day, people are going to be left out, and there's people that are going to start the games. It's just about, when you do come on, just doing the right things and trying to be professional, like I said before. And I don't think that's not going to change. It's something that I've always tried to do. And yeah, look, going forward, I'm just going to keep working hard, and whether I'm needed in the starting 11 or off the bench, it is what it is.
A couple of good games last night on the telly, weren't there? We had Germany, France, and Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo showing that age is not it's just a number.
Yeah.
And I think you were 11 when he left Man United. What influence did he have on you, and what would it mean to come up against him here at this tournament? There's every chance you could face the Portuguese in the last 16 if things sort of go.
Yeah, to play against Portugal will be, a great feeling for everyone in the squad, I think, because to play against some of the best players in the world, we want to test ourselves against the best. That's the reason why we push ourselves every day. We don't want an easy ride. We want to play against the best teams in the world, and we want to do well against them. So for the players, it'll be an amazing experience. Like you said, Cristiano is an unbelievable player, and it almost becomes normal when he defies the odds now, and it's just the way his career's been from the very beginning. yeah, it'll be a great experience to play against him. But you can't say that you're looking forward to play against him. But yeah, we'll enjoy it.
So just those early years, that influence that he had on you.
Yeah, just watching him grow really and develop into the player that he's become was the great thing about it. Because I remember when he first started playing, he wasn't the Cristiano that you see, today or 5 years ago. He was a different player. He was always dribbling, always taking people on. And then just as time went on, his decision making, he just turned into an animal. He was scoring, he was assisting. Like you say, how old is he now? 35, 36, and he's scoring goals left, right, and centre. So I don't have a bad word to say about him. I think he's someone that a lot of people look up to, including me.
Thanks, Ollie. Online now with Zoom to Jerry Cox from Haters.
Hi, Marcus. How are you?
Hello, you okay?
Yeah, good. Another player who's adapted his game, obviously, is Harry Kane. Some suggestions, I think it was Jamie Carragher earlier in the week, said he's perhaps not the player he was at 2018 when he won the Golden Boot. But his stats suggest he's actually getting better. I mean, you see him in training every day. You play alongside him at times. What do you make of Harry? Is he improved as an all-round footballer?
I think for a long time now he's been one of the best forwards in the world. For me, it's his all-round game. It's not just everybody knows about his goal-scoring ability, but there's things that he does on the pitch, the way he holds the ball up. In difficult moments, he wins fouls for the team. He does a good job defensively, and his all-round play is really at a high level. So I've thought for a while that he's been one of the best number 9s in the world. And yeah, nothing that he does now, changes my mind. So, last season he performed unbelievable. I think in the league, 23 goals, 15 assists or something. So it's a massive influence that he has on games. And put that alongside the work that he does off the ball and the dirty work, as you can call it. It's something that you can't not look at and appreciate. So, I'm pleased that he's had such a good year, and hopefully he continues that now in the rest of the tournament.
Thanks, Jerry. Now back in the room with Carrie Brown from beIN Sports.
Okay.
You wrote a really telling moment in your book about how when you were young you didn't have boots sometimes, and your brother wouldn't let you play with the big boys if you didn't have boots on, and you had to sit frustrated not being able to play. Is it that bad?
Yeah, it is. I think, for me, when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was play football. And when someone tells you that you can't play football, you're not happy about it. But yeah, it's just part of growing up and part of my childhood that, as I've got older, I learned to just appreciate, because everyone's journey is unique to them, and that's what makes it special.
I was lucky to be pitchside by the bench just as the final whistle call was blown, and Jayden and Ben were the first to just jump up and applaud. It doesn't seem at all that there is this frustration that as much as everyone wants to be playing, there's more a sense of, look at our bench, look what we've got. Do you think if you had this squad for the last World Cup final, you would have got all the way to the final?
It's difficult to say, really. I think the games, even the 2 games against Croatia, were slightly different. The one in the World Cup and the one that we played the other day, they were slightly different games, so it requires different players. But yeah, the main thing I take from that is just the togetherness of the squad. I'm sure that the lads, Jayden and Ben, were disappointed. But for them, winning the game is the most important thing, and you manage to almost push the individual frustration to the side and put the team first. And it's important in tournament football. It's important. And yeah, since that game, the 2 lads have trained well. And yeah, there's just positivity in the camp, and it's important that we keep that going. Keep training well, keep pushing each other, and just keep trying to win games.
How much have you heard from Scott?
No, I spoke to him the other day. It's going to be a different experience for us, but it's definitely one that I'm proud of. I'm pleased for Scott and his family. You know, we've been playing together since we was kids, since we was 8 or 9 years old, 10 years old. So to be playing against each other in one of the biggest competitions in football is an amazing achievement. And yeah, we're just looking forward to it. But hopefully we win.
So Alex Ferguson is a massive hero of you and has been so supportive as well in you getting school meals to kids. You're going to upset him if you win this.
Yeah. Yes. So Alex. Yeah, he'll definitely be upset. He's a passionate guy. But you know, we have to do our best to try and win the game. So yeah, we're fully concentrated on the game, and you know, we're going to do our best to get another 3 points. What's that?
Has he been in touch?
No, not recently. I was speaking to him when he brought his film out, and that was the last time I spoke to him. But you know, what a person, what an individual. And yeah, there's only, like I said about Cristiano, there's only good things that I can say about Sir Alex from my own experiences and just watching him closely. You know, growing up, there's only good things that I can say about him.
Talking about great leaders, you sat down with Barack Obama the other day, and he said when he was young, he didn't imagine he would be the president of the USA. And at 23 years of age, you are further ahead than he was. Can you rule out being a prime minister of this country when your football career is over?
Yeah, I probably can, because it's not something that I grew up wanting to do. So it's not, you know, my mind's not on that really. But yeah, it was great speaking to him, and I've enjoyed just speaking to people like that and just learning from them and taking what I can from the stories that they tell me. So yeah, it's something that I'll always remember.
Thank you, Kerry. Back online with Alistair Lamont from BBC Scotland.
Thanks very much. Hi, Marcus. Both squads have changed quite markedly since that game 4 years ago. And obviously you've been to the World Cup semis since then, and we've qualified for our first major tournament in a long time. I just wonder if you could assess for me how the squads have improved, and particularly in Scotland's case with the emergence of the likes of McTominay and also McGinn and so on.
Yeah, I think Scotland's team, they've got a lot of players in there that have won things, and that's important in tournament football. You know, Robertson at left back is won some of the biggest trophies in world football, and that experience of being in them big games, you can't underestimate it, because it's very important, and that can actually, the rest of the squad can feed off that. I know the likes of Scott McTominay, he's a great player, he's won trophies, he's played in big games, and had big moments in big games. So them type of experiences, them qualities we have to respect, and we have to go to the game super concentrated and ready for whatever Scotland are going to throw at us, because they're a team that can play in a few different ways, a few different styles, and they can hurt you in different ways. So we definitely have to be ready for that.
Thanks, Alistair. Back in the room with Dan Salisbury-Jones from ITV.
Hi, Marcus. There's a lot of stuff here to keep all the players entertained when you're not training. I just wonder if you find time to do any of that, or whether you have so much of your own stuff going on that keeps you occupied when you're not training.
No, I've been playing a bit of basketball with the lads. What else have we done? A little bit of cards. There's a few things going on in there, but it's good, you know. It's keeping things natural and relaxed, really. And when you're so focused on the games and training, it's important to have the time away from it to switch off for an hour or two. So yeah, I think they've done a great job here setting this environment up, and for us it feels like home, and that's important because we want to be here for, you know, hopefully 5 weeks. So we want to make it as comfortable as possible, and you know, the staff and the team have worked very hard on making that environment possible. And yeah, like I said, it's been fun so far. So hopefully that continues.
Is it different not having Jesse Lingard with you at this camp? as you had him there in Russia?
Yeah, it's obviously slightly different, but everyone brings different things to the team off the pitch, and there's some funny guys in the squad. So it's all about just keeping positive energy and looking forward to the next game, and we want to stay on that sort of rhythm and momentum. And for me, that's the best way to approach games. You want to we're happy that we won the last game, and we want to take that energy into the next game.
Thanks, Dan. We'll go back online to Marcello Courage from TV Globo.
Hi, Marcus. Good afternoon. Yesterday, I went to Gainsborough Primary School in East London, where they painted that mural to you. And it's remarkable to see 8, 9, 10 years old children speaking about helping each other and the ones who need most in their communities. And I was wondering if your goal with all that you've done in the last year is also spread this sort of awareness for the future generations of British citizens. And also if you think more footballers from other countries, for instance, can join you in this fight against hunger worldwide.
Yeah, for me, that's the main reason why I started doing what I was doing. I wanted to help children and show them that there's ways, different ways to go about things in order to try and help each other a little bit. And I just think if you help the young ones and they grow up with this type of mentality and commitment towards something, that's how you make sustainable change. Otherwise, you might be able to change something for 2 or 3 years, but it just won't last. So I wanted to start speaking to the younger kids and just connecting with them, and I think I've managed to do that so far. And like you said, that example is brilliant for me to hear, because it's the reason why I wanted to start doing it. So looking forward, I hope that continues.
Thank you, Marcello. And we'll finish this live section with one last question from Ian Abrahams at TalkSport.
Hi Marcus, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Hello? It's sort of 2 questions in one, really. First one is, obviously if you beat Scotland, you'll be through to the next stage of the competition, and you face France or Portugal if you win the group. So obviously England benefited last time from not winning the group in the World Cup, having a slightly easier run. So is that on anybody's mind? And secondly, Declan Rice has said that if England win the tournament, he'll have his first ever pint. Can I ask you what you'll do if England win the tournament you've never done before?
Yeah, we obviously want to win every game. It's as simple as that, really. We're not thinking about coming second to get an easier run or anything like that. We want to approach every game with the mentality that we're going to win. And to be fair, that's always been the mentality of the staff and the players here anyway, so not much is going to change in that regard. And God knows what's going to happen if we win. I hope that we do win. It'll be an amazing experience. Watching Dec have his first pint. But yeah, on a serious note, it's something that the country's not managed to do in a long time, and we definitely want to do our best to try and bring that joy back to the nation.
Thanks, Ian. That concludes the live section of this media conference